all of our webcast attendees around the world. It is so exciting to be here today to talk about polite, productive, proactive prospecting for hotel sales, a topic I'm very passionate about. In fact, we're doing a lot of that right now. July tends to be a slower month for me to be on the road, because either if you're a resort, you're super busy, or if you're a city hotel, you're on vacation. So it's the time where we kind of dig in and do the same things that we teach every single day. So I'm super excited to look at our list. We have, first of all, a lot of our regulars. A few if you are the first time joining us, we begin every webcast with shout outs. It gives us just a couple of minutes to get people who are others who are going to join us live. We actually have about a third of our audience is live. So thanks to all of you who are attending live. It also kind of puts me in the headspace, because I'm otherwise sitting here in our studio and looking at a little camera and a little dot, imagining, if am I alone talking, but going through the shout outs helps me get in the headspace as well. So to our regulars and clients, Susan, it's great to see you from Inner Banks Inn. I know you run a great property there. We have the owner here joining us today. And then Riverstone Schuler, we have Amy and Michaela. Glad to see you. Jordan from Sea Pines in Hilton Head. Fantastic. Nisa, Estefania, Magdalena, two of my regulars. And then Ultimate Resort Vacations, we have Andrea and Mary Laura. And I enjoyed doing the live webcam training for your group in January. Hope to work with you again. We have David from TCRM Revenue Management Company that does a great job for outsourcing or temporary getting a revenue manager or outsourcing that. David, thank you for joining us. It's great to see commercial strategy people being passionate about prospecting. We have Visit Sandy Springs. We have Miriam. Thank you for joining us. You're actually a neighbor. We just relocated from Fort Lauderdale to Fairburn, just south of Atlanta. So we'd love to work with you and your organization. We have a big international turnout. Windsor Arms in Canada. Angie, hello. Amazing luxury hotels. Julia and I always go through this together, and we pop over a lot of the websites. We spent about 45 minutes getting an idea of who's with us, and we looked at your beautiful property. We have Puerto Rico, USA. Shout out to Carla and Wanda, the Wyndham Rio Mar. I do go to Puerto Rico frequently, so love to stop by and do some training for you. I think we had a DoubleTree there as well. Blackwalk Oceanfront, British Columbia, Victoria. We have several from Cabo. We have Gabriel from Corazon Cabo, and then the Grand Velas, Guadalupe. So thank you. I hope you're not, well, let's see. It's about 9:05 a.m. there, so maybe you are joining us live. Ryan from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Great to see you again. I've enjoyed our correspondence on LinkedIn, and I would love to get back there. Jamaica in the house. We have Jaban from the Rock Hotel. Jamaica, my heart is definitely open to Jamaican people. I'll be at Round Hill Resort in October, so if you ever want an on-site training, let me know. We can add you on to my visit there. Now we have a lot of a few more internationals. Botanica Sanctuary, Ryan, all the way in Indonesia. So let's see, there it's probably about midnight. So I hope you're not attending live. Maybe you'll get the recording. We have a lot of hotel management companies. Silver Hotel Group up in Ontario. Hopefully the rains are putting out the fires. We have Marison and 3 others. Thank you for your regional team for signing up. Foxhole Hospitality, Jeff. Daily 7, we have Ashley on the corporate level and a couple of you joining us. Hotel Hershey, one of my favorite clients ever. I did training there in the 90s and again in the early 2000s. We actually have been there, I think last time was 2018. We have a couple of people from reservations, manager and assistant. So thank you for joining us, and a shout out to you. We also have a couple of other reservation managers. Now I do want to point out, if it's your first time joining us, our topic on the webcast rotates every month. So today's topic is specific to prospecting, and this is most applicable to those who sell groups, meetings, and events. Now, we have a lot of you in reservations. A few of you have joined us, so thank you. We do see, hopefully you'll have some takeaways, but we also have a topic coming up. Next month is hospitality, which applies to everyone. And then we rotate back in September. We're going to do a webcast specific to upselling at front desk and also upselling and reservations. So we're going to be covering both of those concepts. And we hope you come back and join us from Hershey. And then we also had the guest house at Graceland. We have Lori and I can't read my own handwriting. I think you're also, oh no, you're the Lori is in sales. So thank you for joining us. We had a couple of other reservation managers on a stay. And of course, a lot of our vacation rental clients, Sun Realty, so many others. We love seeing you. For this topic will be most applicable for your business development folks. But again, you know, we hope that you find value in the time that you're going to spend with me. So let's get to it after our shout outs. And then I want to talk about prospecting and why it is so critical in today's world. Here we are almost at the end of July. We're already starting on the downhill side of 2026. So why is prospecting so critical at this moment in time in the history of the hospitality and lodging industry? In the near term, the current state of the global economy is going to require us to fight hard. And in the long term, prospecting is a key to your future success of your hotel career. So let's dig down a little deeper into each of those topics. What's going on in the industry right now? It is a crazy time as we head into 2027. We have uncertainty on inflation and therefore interest rates. So the economy's kind of stuck. It looked like things were going to start to go the other way with interest rates, which always is like adding fuel, at least here in North America, to the economy. In the United States, we have a stock market, and I think largely around the world too, for our international people. It's driven by almost exclusively by tech stocks, which is a little scary because there is a lot of talk about the bubble effect and the bubble in the tech stocks. And you may have seen recently, you know, in the last few weeks, tech stocks took a little bump. Now, personally, I don't play in the stock market. I do have, you know, IRAs and some mutual funds. But those IRAs and mutual funds and 401ks, they're investing in those tech stocks. So not a good time to log in and check the balance right now. Unknown effects of new tariffs. Well, the old tariffs ended in the United States, and now whatever's going on, I don't know with the new tariffs. We'll see. Uncertainty. My apologies to Canadians for the recent huge tariffs. I don't know. War and oil prices. So we have a war, a stop-start war with oil going up, going down. As I saw yesterday, oil's over $100 a barrel. That affects fuel costs around the world. So it's a period of uncertainty for us all. Now, I also want to talk about, regardless of what happens in the economy, it's going to be a fight with your competition for your share of the pie. The pie right now, I mean, we may swing up, down a little bit, but with all the new inventory being added in most markets, fighting for your share is going to be really tough just to get your slice of that pie. So yeah, this pie looks pretty tasty here. It's making me hungry, but you know, this is called market share. Are you happy with your market share? I'm pretty sure your owners and asset managers are not. How do we get more market share? We have to fight, fight, fight. We have to go take it away from the competition. Now, unless you're, you know, a destination marketing organization like Sandy Springs, your job is to help make the pie bigger. But most of us are fighting for a slice, a bigger slice of a pie that right now is not growing. If anything, it might be shrinking. So this is what's going on. Now, if you check out this image I made here, this is a lot of fun using AI to make these images. But the long-term reason prospecting is so key is that the profession of hotel sales is experiencing a massive disruption, and it is only just beginning. So recently, last month, I got a chance to attend the HSMAI Commercial Strategy Conference, which is co-located with HITECH, the Hotel Information and Technology Conference. HITECH, probably the biggest conference, at least in North America, possibly the world. And a lot is changing right now. These are the things that are happening that are affecting the disruption of traditional hotel sales, where we have traditional hotel salespeople sitting in offices all around the world. First of all, brands and management companies are centralizing group and event sales, and companies or third-party providers are outsourcing, offering outsourced services for hotel sales. So these are two of the major changes. And the third one, and this is what was all the talk at HITEC, is tech companies are pushing for sales automation. Now, their word is always, oh yes, we want to free up everybody's time to allow you to have more contact. But as with a lot of AI sales right now, the secret message is also eliminating the number one, well, maybe the number two cost, usually the number one cost in a hotel company, labor. Okay. So hotel companies are centralizing group sales. We have brands like Marriott and Hilton that are franchise brands that offer you their global Salesforce options. We have management companies also offering owners of hotels, they manage centralized sales. We have companies like Drury, which is a fantastic, I love this brand. If you ever stayed at one, it's a great brand. One of the few family-owned brands that's left. Marriott, JW and Bill, founded Marriott. Conrad and Barron founded Hilton. These are largely franchise brands now. Drury is still owned by the Drury family. To my knowledge, they don't franchise. And they do a great job at centralizing sales. But we also have companies like Gillis, Giacorusso, and Invigorate, just three of the many that do outsource hotel sales. So, a lot of owners are saying, hey, do we really need to have our own salespeople employed on property? Can we outsource? Now, I'm not for or against any of this. We actually work with training and all these different types of setups. But my word to you is, if you're an on-site salesperson and you want to ensure your value, not necessarily next month or next year, but on a 5-year, a 10-year plan, the way to ensure you will always have a job and be rocking it upward in your career is to be good at prospecting, okay? Because prospecting is almost a lost art in many ways. Let me come back to that. So what's happening with sales automation? So these were some of the other things I talked about with the outsourcing and centralizing. But sales automation, if you put into Gemini, Google Gemini, what companies offer software enabling hotels to automate the responses to inbound inquiries? Oh, you got a long list here. Event Temple, Amadeus, Triple C, Ivy, Civ, not heard of them, and many others, okay? Now, at HSMAI, these are presentation decks by presenter from one of the companies previous listed, showing how you can set up your own automated AI response to incoming RFPs using Claude, okay, not purchasing any of those softwares. So he had this whole diagram of how it works, and the lead comes in at 5:30 and it's responded to immediately. And then this is, again, some of the slides. Now, I didn't raise my hand, but I wanted to. But I am writing an article for CoStar that's going to be published next month in the daily, one of the daily CoStar newsletters. I really hope hotels don't go all the way down this path of automation, because what I think is going to happen if we do is going to turn a hotel group meeting event into a commodity. So you think about what makes us different. It is the people parts, okay? So if we go down the path of automation, we're going to have rates that are largely the same due to we're all subscribing to the same data feeds. You might be putting them into different revenue management systems. We all have similar products. Even if you're a boutique hotel, there's other boutique hotels nearby or other luxury hotels. And imagine a world where most hotels go to AI-powered automated responses to RFPs. The lead comes in through Cvent, goes out to 5, 10 hotels. Within 5 minutes, that planner in their inbox gets 5 or 10 responses with the same price, worded almost the same. Because if you haven't noticed yet, you can tell when AI writes. Check AI to find clues to how to know AI is writing, and generic automated response. So that's one vision of the future for a lot of people. It's not my vision, but I believe we should insert the people parts at embrace automation, have those auto responses, but look for every opportunity to keep people in the hotel sales process. So And AI can help us reduce some of the, the work that takes up so much of our time. But developing and demonstrating prospecting skills will allow your career to soar. And you will have, in the long run, the long game, you will always be successful, because this is not a path a lot of people are going through. I'm pretty sure I'm talking to the old saying, preaching to the choir, the people that already understand prospecting, that do it the best, that are already embracing it. You're hungry for more, and you signed up to join me today. And I'm going to be sharing in a few minutes, just to preview, some actual resources. Some of them you may know, some of them you may not. But I'm going to introduce you to some powerful tools that we can use that are resulted from AI, and the incredible stuff that's happening in tech that can help us tee up leads. And we use our tech in a way to touch the people that we're going after. All right. So first, a few basics. Prospecting requires discipline, even more so than skill. So we're going to talk about skills for prospecting today, but a lot of it is being disciplined to make the time to prospect. It's almost like, your fitness routine or your nutritional focus of your life, or whatever you want to do. If you want to make sure to be feeding your mind, you're going to put it on your calendar to listen to a TED Talk once a week, or an audio book for your personal development. We must make the time, and we've got to put it on our calendar as either a daily task, like 1 hour a day, or 1/2 day a week, but we have to block out the time. Now, in defense of, we have a lot of frontline sales managers here today, sales managers, on-site sales directors, your team. Sometimes we have to push back to steal back time to prospect. Okay, do not let the sales role become the Swiss Army knife of a hotel. So I got to credit one of my good friends, Ralph Tiergart, for actually sharing that term in a conversation. He runs Dimension Hospitality. He runs, 60 some hotels as head of the commercial team. And he said, yeah, too often the sales managers become the Swiss Army knife to help out in other areas that have nothing to do with sales or prospecting. Don't let that happen to you, because only you can prevent sales disruptions. Only you. So when your leaders, your bosses, your other departments come to you and say, hey, can you help us decorate for the holidays in the lobby or the breakfast room? Can you help us plan the employee event? We can, but it's going to take away time from our sales activity. A lot of leaders today don't understand how much time it takes, because sales is not just flinging out, prospecting is not just flinging out 100 cold calls a month. It's research, and researching in a way that you can be polite, you can be proactive through using your CRM, and you can be productive because you're prospecting to the right people. So take control of your day. Rather than reacting to emails and pop-up notifications, block out times for your proactive sales skills. I personally do this. Like I said, right now, July, a little bit slower, not as much on the road. I'm blocking out my time to do proactive prospecting here. Even the busy months, when I'm doing 6-8 days of training out of 22 work days plus travel, when I come back off the road, people around me know, do not interrupt them, because I'm dialed in to my lead stream. Okay, now we have other people that do sales here, but I focus on the top leads, the repeat clients. Some of you on this webcam, because I follow up with you personally. So research before you reach out, and then reach out in a way that is personalized. When you research, you're then able to reach out in a way that is personalized and follow up in a way that is persistent but not pushy. So the tech companies want to sell us also automated prospecting. Some of them have really legit offers specific to the accommodations business. Some of them are illegitimate. I mean, almost every day my spam folder is filled with an email that says, what if I could deliver to you 50 new leads a month for whatever they grab off my website for hotel sales training? And I know it's going to be, either totally illegitimate, or maybe they're going to go and grab a bunch of generic data and spam you. Okay, that's not going to be successful today. People are not opening emails that are generic. They can tell right away. They're not even opening automated DMs on LinkedIn and things like that. I get those as well. So first of all, let's start with the best way to prospect the clients or prospects that you already either have done business with or that you denied due to availability or they denied due to rate, or maybe the rate they were asking for was not in your range. I encourage you to embrace your CRM and make sure that we put every right size lead. Now, if you're selling a 500 euro or 500 Canadian or US dollar room and they want a, you know, 75 to $100 range, okay, that's not a right size lead. If they need a meeting space for 100 people and you have a boardroom that holds 20 and that's it, because you're a focused service hotel, that's not a right size lead. But anything that would be under some condition a good fit, put that into your CRM. First of all, this enables you to retrace that lost or denied business for future prospecting. Okay. Now, of course, we're not talking about social events that don't recur like weddings. Hopefully weddings don't recur. And usually the bride doesn't want to, you know, her bridal party doesn't want to get married at the same or have necessarily the reception at the same place that their friends did. But, you know, corporate business, group business, annual meetings. Also, your revenue managers will love you because it's going to allow them to forecast future demand based on times when you turned away business due to availability or you lost business due to rate. Okay, valuable data. Now, once you put every lead in there, not just the booked ones, you can then search them up on LinkedIn and make those connections, especially for professional ones. There's a pretty good argument, though, to make these even for social business, because the bride to be, you know, she or her partner, they might be professional people, maybe they work for corporations. You know, the more contacts we have on LinkedIn, the more our network grows. And you never know, when you make strong connections, which will be next month's topic, personalization and connection of hospitality. Those endure a long time. I'm sure we have all had stories where somebody pops back into our world that remembers from a previous deal. So we can maintain the connection, but we can also cross-penetrate their organization. So if someone works for Delta Airlines and we make that connection, now when we go into LinkedIn, we can then see their second and third level connections when they've accepted us as a connection. So I'll come back to that in just a moment. We're going to talk in a minute about the new prospecting tools. I want to keep you on the webcast here, but first I'm going to talk about the hottest lead or the people you already have doing business with and the ones you lost or denied. Okay, so embrace that CRM, whether you love it or hate it. I wish I could see a show of hands. When I'm doing conference speaking, I ask people to raise their hand and I can see how many of you love your sales CRM. I don't usually see a lot of hands go up, but love it or hate it, we need to put our arms around it and give it a big hug. These are a few of the most prominent ones, but we need to make sure we watch all those cute little videos they have to train us. We take time to learn the features that it offers and to maximize all of those features, which continuously change. Personally, I use Zoho, which is it's kind of like a Salesforce or a HubSpot, but I personally love Zoho. Some days I personally hate Zoho, especially when they add new features. But make sure that we embrace these because you may have, especially if you're a branded hotel, if you're in a major metropolitan area, you have a flood of unqualified inbound leads. And the CRMs are essential for tenacious and personalized follow-up. Okay, so what's a flood? If you're on Cvent and you have a paid listing, you may get a flood of inquiries. If you're a brand and you're in Fort Lauderdale and then one of the major brands sends you a lead for Fort Myers, they're both forts, but they're also about 2.5, 3 hours away. Okay, now sometimes the brands rate you on if you respond, and if you don't respond, they're not going to send you any more leads. So now you have to respond to a lead for something that is not even a prospect for you. So this is why, now that's just keeping alive in CRMs, but the legit leads that come in that we lose or deny or turn away, it's lost to us. We have to enter that. It enables us to have a lead stream, enables us to follow up tenaciously, to have tenacity. That's what I do. I use Zoho. First thing I do when I come off the road, I open my Zoho lead stream, boom, boom, boom. I do my follow-ups. It's actually a task, a block out time, just like I said to all of you, that I put on my calendar. Okay. And so it doesn't take time, as much time, if you're organized. And then the notes in all of these sections, all of these systems, enable you to do something personalized. 1 or 2 sentences, especially the first or second sentence in your email, your direct message, or the first or second sentence you say in the voicemail that you leave, okay, is a chance for you to show that you're not spamming them, that you're actually following up personally. I'm going to share at the end some sample dialogue, okay? And that's how we do warm calling. That is how we do laser focused, authentic, personalized prospecting, not generic, okay? Because this is what makes the difference. Personalized follow-up makes your hotel stand out from everybody else. When the product is similar, which brands do tend to copy other successful brands. When the price is similar, which brand hotels are all being fed the same data reports into either the same pricing tools or similar ones. So the price is not a differentiator unless you want to win on the low price. And the place, the 3 P's are the same. What makes the difference? The people parts stand out. Okay. So research before you reach out. This is the part I'm super excited to share with you today. Effective prospecting for new business. We're not talking about the recurring business and cross penetration and all that. Is research before you reach out. Block time, as we've already said, to research and tee up leads. I'm pretty sure the GMs with us today know that success is not based on quantity, it's based on quality today. Old school GMs, she would say, give me 100 sales calls a month. I literally saw this happen in a client's office. They had a certain number of prospecting they had to do per year to be eligible for their bonus. I happened to be there right before holiday season, around mid-December, and everybody was just throwing out, it's like throwing something against the wall and hoping that it sticks, and they were just flinging cold calls. That's not productive, okay? Better to do fewer that are better researched, okay? So cross-penetrating large accounts, previous clients who did not rebook, leads that were lost due to availability and or decline, lost or decline, or one deals that reoccur. So these are the beginner easy ones. In a minute, I'm going to look at total complete cold calling. But for prospecting and penetrating, cross-penetrating large accounts, this is why you want to be active on your LinkedIn. And the final step and your last trace in your CRM for with a major company or a university sports team or a construction company, you know, is put them out, not at the very end, but about a month later, reach back out. Hey, just wanted to check back. Is there anyone else we should be in touch with? You could help us out. We're going to talk at the end today about being humble and grateful. I would be grateful for any assistance you could provide in putting us in touch with others in your network that might be of need. People want to help people that they like. So the stronger the hospitality connection, the more personalized relationship you've created, the more they're going to look for opportunities to help you. Okay. Now, researching completely new markets starts with online research. I'm going to share a few resources here. Cvent has some amazing new tools that I just found out about from my good friend Courtney Granger, who is a senior account manager with Cvent. Super exciting. We're going to look at some AI platforms of how you can use these, and you should use more than one. And then I'm going to share with you 2 companies that both offer trial memberships. I think they're both 1-week trials that you can use to research the actual contact names for companies that, or associations that you're going after, okay? So Cvent Group Pipeline, my understanding is very roughly from some other people that I talked to at Cvent, maybe about half of hotels that have the diamond listing or a paid listing on Cvent have now subscribed to Cvent Group Pipeline, but the perception is that many are underutilizing it, okay? So it is included with many of your bundled Cvent accounts. If you don't have it yet, have your main contact for Cvent, whoever that is, reach out to the customer success advisor or their account manager and dig into Cvent. What Cvent is going to do is going to help you make data-driven decisions, but it's going to help you find, I know this is hard to read, so I will read it to you. Find your best prospects with Planner and Navigator so you can prioritize and track your outreach efforts. That may be like a CRM, I'm not really sure, but here's the one that I think is super exciting. Re-engage with planners you have done business with and identify opportunities you've missed. And most exciting is find planners who haven't sourced you at all. They haven't even reached out to you. So you can find planners that are originating business in your market area, your comp set, that have never included you in an RFP. Isn't that exciting? And that is a great way to find people that are doing business in your market that are not, you're not even getting up to bat with. So Cvent Group Pipeline, and it is a relatively bigger investment than the other ones that I'm going to share in a moment, but they have the data of who's actually out there. So, you know, especially if you're if you have a lot of conference space and you're doing a lot of big groups, I would check this out. I would be doing a trial membership at least with this. Okay. And if you have it, watch all the training videos, harass your client success person, your account managers, take advantage of every moment they'll give you to help you utilize it. Now, let's talk about AI searches, and then we'll review the other two sources that I shared with you. Use different AI providers, not just one. I'm going to share with you some examples today of how you can do AI-powered searches, and the results differ according to ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, or the three that I tried today, okay? So we're going to look at how we can source the companies and then dig deeper for the contacts at those companies by using LinkedIn or the two companies that I'm going to recommend you check out, Seamless AI and Clarity. There's also another one that's a competitor I can't think of right now that is much more expensive, but you can find the names. But to find the companies, you're going to start with your AI. So I live south of Atlanta. I live in a community called Fairburn, about 30 minutes, 20 minutes outside of Atlanta. West of us is a small city called Carrollton. They host University of West Georgia. It's a big cultural community. I thought it was a good example for a lot of you today, those of you from Greenville and, you know, some of the Texas locations and some of the smaller markets. It's a very good example. One of the big opportunities is construction of data center. Georgia right now is exploding with data center. Now, it's the NIMBY thing, not in my backyard, okay? They're looking to build a data center 5 miles as the crow flies. We sit on 14 acres of forest here. I don't really want a data center personally, and all the communities around here in this part of Georgia are rising up. You know, they don't want a data center. So you might have mixed reviews and your heart might be torn if you're a hotel salesperson, but at the same time, we got to fill rooms and meeting space, yeah? So if they're building a data center, wouldn't we want to benefit from it? So simply put in, what company is building a data center near Carrollton, Georgia, okay? And it kind of cleans up here in the search. And then now it's going to tell us about Atlas Development and Fogo Solutions. And then it brings up some links over here where we can dig deeper about these projects, okay? Now, ChatGPT starts out with actually giving you a map of the project. So you can actually see, I think these are covering up yeah, Carrollton is right underneath there, and you can see Digital Realty, Atlanta, Alt 10 and Alt 11. Okay, so I didn't dig too far into this, but I did go into ChatGPT, which then gives a whole list of companies that are building data centers. Now, some of these are a little bit further away. So you see, you know, a small market, you may have, these are 30 miles away, probably not a good prospect. But you got to look and you got to see. Here's one right here, Atlas Development, Carrollton based, managing land development. Okay, so maybe they have other projects besides data centers. So now what we can do is dig deeper. Here's finding information about what's happening near Carrollton, companies with Carrollton connections. So again, we're still in ChatGPT. We're going down the rabbit hole. We're finding actual companies, not names yet. Now we jump on over to Claude, and all these are the free subscriptions. I don't do paid on any of these yet, or I didn't do them for this. What's happening with data centers? Now we have Atlas came up again, and Fogo comes up again. They're headquartered in Carrollton, and they have a facility right there in Carrollton on Tom Reeve Drive. And then here's Atlas coming up again. So, and Project Sale came up again. So here we see a lot of information. So what do you do with that? Okay. Now you might also look at the Nolan, which is now bought by another company. And so you can, the Nolan report, which historically gives you the names of people that have done meetings and events at other nearby hotels, but not the contacts. Now, again, whether you use it or not, it's up to you. I would check into it. I don't know what the current subscription rates are, but what you can do with the knock on Nolan was that it didn't give you the contact names. So all of this gives you the companies, but not the contact names. How do we get the contact names? That is what we're going to talk about next. Okay. So you can go to LinkedIn. If you have built a strong network, you may be able to find them on your own on the second and third degree contacts. But if not, maybe you'll try out Sales Navigator. Last I looked, $99 a month. But I'm going to talk about Seamless AI and Clarity. So the LinkedIn that I have has about 12,000 contacts. They're all hospitality, vacation rental, hotel management, casino. However, nonetheless, look at a small world it is. The Fogo Solutions, one of the companies in Carrollton, I found director of events, the IT professional, and this person is, CEO. So I have 3 names right here in my LinkedIn, okay? And I don't use LinkedIn Sales Navigator right now. So this is Seamless AI. Zoom Info was the other company. Zoom Info is the one that you probably heard more about. They charge, last I looked, their rates are higher. I'm not endorsing either company, but I am suggesting you check out Zoom Info, but also Seamless AI. Their rates are right here, starting with free. And they give you 50 free credits, 1 full contact per credit. So you can research 50 contacts for free at Seamless AI, okay? And so now you look up Fogo Solutions, building a contact center in Carrollton. This hopefully will lead you to finding those contacts. And this is not a search related to, this is an older screenshot when I was doing a trial subscription with them. And you can see it gives you names, titles, company, contact phone. Once you click these and use a credit, it's going to reveal their phone and their company email. Yes, it's kind of scary because guess what? Your information is probably out there too. It's the world we live in today. For better or for worse, we might as well take advantage of it to help our hotel fill up its rooms so we can pay our bills and employ our staff and keep our people working. So that's my opinion. So that's Seamless AI. Now, the one which I think is super exciting, we are a current subscriber to. And if you're interested, reach out to me, Doug at Kennedy Training Network. I will personally make you a connection. They will extend their 7-day free trial for you. They're offering a 7-day free trial and it's called Clearity. So it's the word clear, I-T-T-Y. Clearity is basically clear itty with 2 T's. And this is a company that has a 7-day free trial, and then it's $300 a month for up to 3 seats. So 3 separate logins. You can share this if you're a cluster or regional manager. You get 1,500 credits a year. So again, a credit is used up every time you actually drill down to a contact level. And some require multiple credits, but we got 15,000. It's hardly made a dent in it. So far, we're using it a lot right now. So free trial, check it out, find out for yourself. Now, I put in my Clearity. Now, my Clearity, you set up by what industries you want to look for and what geographic locations. And so it will allow you to drill down. My Clearity is set up for the accommodations industry, but nonetheless, Fogo Solutions, the company we've used as a model, originally found in the AI, we can unlock them for 1 credit, and then we can find the stakeholders for 35 different people that are here. Okay. Now this intent thing, this is kind of cool. If you have your Clearity account, so let's say you're one of our luxury hotels today, let's say Windsor Arms or Hamilton Princess Fairmont. Okay. So you can actually, if you are a large hotel that has a lot of people searching either for your name or for conference in the British Columbia, whatever city you're in, and hotel, conference, British Columbia, or convention, the words that they would use to find your websites, you can actually set up Clearity. So the intent score will actually find people who are looking through various searches to find providers, to source providers like you. I'm not sure how much that value is going to be. Now, if you're a unique large hotel in your market with a lot of more meeting space that stands out, and people are looking for a hotel meeting space for 50,000 square feet to accommodate 500 people, and then that may help you. But we are a very niche, narrow business. We're not using the intent. What we use it for is when we find companies that we think would benefit from our services, we can then look them up in Clearity. We can then unmask the contacts, or we can find the contact name. Right? So it's a very exciting time. Try these things out. You can try it out for free for 7 days, and then to me, $300 a month is not a lot to risk for these. Give them a try. The Cvent, I'll let you go to your own. The pricing is based on your bundle. It's going to be considerably more than that, but they also have data specific to who's actually sourcing meeting and event space and hotel rooms in your market. Okay. Now, vacation rental people have joined us. Business development people in vacation rental, professionally managed vacation rental companies are looking for owners of homes, just like hotel companies look for owners of hotels to manage. You have a lot of companies you can go to now that you can find people giving you the leads, but now with tools like this, you can drill down and find out more about those people. Okay. So here is the previous company, Fogo Solutions. Here's the 3 people that came up. Now, my Clearity is set up to look for people that are revenue and marketing, and so these 3 contacts came up. There's actually 35 that they had, but my Clearity is set up to find for what we market for, which is the commercial strategy and the operations folks. Yours would be set up to find different titles. Okay. So that's research. I think it's a very exciting time. You can even do so much more, but I wanted to highlight that. Let us not forget old school methods. Let us not forget business journals, top 25 lists that have leadership changes, company expansions. I just put in right here for Georgia Business Journal, but a lot of these are online now. Now, I did not subscribe, but I just put in a quick search, Georgia Business Results, Carrollton. Okay, I don't know how many of these would be prospects for a hotel. Evergrace Aesthetics, I don't know. Performing Arts Center, maybe, I think it's more of a school, but this one right here, Hightower Family Funeral Homes. So if you're a mid-market hotel, this can be a big source of business. When people have a funeral and it's a time of loss and you have families all of a sudden have to plan 7 days from now a funeral, and sometimes a service added the funeral home. The funeral directors will say, and they will ask them, by the way, what's a good hotel to put our guest up at, and they can share a cart. So it may sound morbid to some of you, but in time of need, it is a helpful service to be in touch with people who can refer you business. And then again, I only went to the first screen here. So there's actually 79 results. I'm only showing you the first 5. Also, participate in local business networking groups, CVBs, Sandy Springs Visitors Bureau meetings. If you're a hotel, you're in Sandy Springs, you want to attend those meetings. Tourism Association, Chambers of Commerce, local HSMAI chapter. I remember when I first was asked by my boss in New York City to go and network with the competition at organizations like HSMAI. I thought, why would I want to talk to my competitor? But then I realized, if somebody gets a lead and they're sold out, or the lead comes in, I just did a training about a year ago for a company for a resort in Colorado. They actually shared the day of sales training with a local hotel because they overflow a lot. And a lot of times they don't have enough meeting space. So they bring in and they partner with the other competitive hotel to do overflow. So our competitors can be our partners. Now, we do have an actual webcast on networking at events, and there's some tips. You might laugh when you hear them, but how to make the most when you're at these events and how to get the most contacts, how to get the most out of it. That is a lost art. Okay, I learned that from my mentor, Howard Fartag, who was my age when I was working in hotel sales in my mid-20s, and it helped me a lot. I still use those tips today. Now, how do we turn cold calling into warm calling? This is, first of all, the importance of it, and then I'm going to give you some sample dialogue. We're going to now get into the nitty-gritty part, which is covered in our Hotel Sales Habitudes, which is our sales training at KTN. It's a full-day class when it's taught on site. Sometimes it's 1.5 days. We also do it as a live small group webcam training directly for your team. We do that in 2 or 3 parts, depending on your size. But why do we want to do that? Because it makes a difference. This is my friend, Deanne Vigil. She is the managing director, Helms Briscoe, North America. She's been with them 17 years, starting out as a planner with them, working her way up to the top seat for North America. Before that, she was a hotelier. So if you Google search Doug Kennedy, Deanne, or Doug Kennedy, Helms Briscoe, Doug Kennedy, Helms Briscoe, the article will come up where she co-wrote 2 articles with me. One of the quotes I like to share, she says she is shocked. I'm shocked by how many emails and direct messages on LinkedIn I get selling me something that they have no idea what I actually do, because they just send her random reach outs. Most times these emails are obviously spam or a generic email. I just automatically delete them. I don't feel obligated to read them or respond to them. But alternatively, when someone takes the time to send me a real personalized email or DM, I feel compelled to read what was sent and respond. I don't think Deanne is very different from most humans out there. When people approach me, if they're grateful and humble, and I will talk to them, okay? And if I'm not a prospect, I will kindly tell them so they can move on and they don't have to do their follow-ups. I find that in my own prospecting efforts. When you reach out in a way that is personalized, tenacious, and a way that feels authentic, people respond. And they may hand you off to someone else within the company, or they may say, I don't have anything, but that email is in their deleted or their saved folders, and later a need pops up or a random referral comes in. It's all about relationships. All right, so I'm going to put both these up here. If you are watching, you may want to do a screenshot or email me directly for the sample dialogue at the end of our time together, and I will share it with you. I'll read them quickly. denied due to space previously. Hi, Chris. I know when you inquired last year, we didn't have availability, but I wanted to reach out now ahead of time to see if we can block space and accommodations for this year's meeting. Okay. Cold call after research. This is someone you didn't get, but you want to go back for. This is someone you've never talked to. Greetings, Chris. I noticed on LinkedIn, you're the regional sales manager for Acme Widget Services. I happened to notice the news about your recent expansion into Carrollton, Georgia. So I wanted to reach out, see if you're going to have any colleagues coming in, to see if you're going to have any holiday parties, see if you're going to need any rooms for your vendor suppliers. Okay. Now, always, when you actually reach out and you do get a live person, which is rare. Okay. Most of the time these days, when they don't recognize the number, you're going to be going to voicemail. But that's fine. Voicemail can be your friend. Reach out in a way that is authentic. So refer to a reason you think that prospect is a suspect. We recently hosted a similar meeting or event, or we recently worked with a different department within your major company, or we recently hosted a similar event for another group event association. I see you are planning travel for this sports team. We host many other sports teams, such as these other universities or high schools or traveling teams. Okay. So cross-penetrating existing accounts, old school selling. Thank you for your business, Chris. Let me know if any of your colleagues are planning anything. Keep us in mind. Okay. Warm calling, you reach out a couple of weeks or a month down the road and you say, thanks for your business, Chris. And by the way, can I ask if you could put me in touch with Rachel from the Eastern Division at Acme Widget Services? Because we'd like to reach out to them as well. We actually have a hotel on the eastern side of the region. Okay. Now, be humble and grateful. Personalized, authentic, assuming their company is a reasonable suspect, most people will eventually respond to your cadence. I'm going to share the cadence to end our time together here in about 5 minutes. So if it's personalized, if it's generic and spam, you're not going to hear back. But if it's personalized, we usually will, to close the loop. So how to be humble. I'm reaching out with hope that we can be considered for any future needs for Acme Widget Company. And I would be grateful if you could carve out just a few minutes for an introductory call, or if you could hand me off to anyone else at your company, organization, university that might be a better contact. Okay? You reach out like this, people want to help people that are kind. People want to help people that are humble. People don't want to help people that are boastful and obnoxious. Okay? Real quick, Tech for Touch. We have other webcasts on this so many times. Huge advocate for all of these things to make that connection personal. Don't be just a silent seller. A silent seller means the era where all we do is message people back and forth. Insert people back into the heart of the sales process. Okay. So why is this important? You cannot forge strong personal relationships through digital correspondence. Email the proposal, email back, question. It's generic. The product's the same, the price is the same, the place is the same. Decision's going to be made on rate. It's a race to the bottom. So use an online scheduling app. It avoids that whole back and forth when you try to get a meeting set up with someone and they say, okay, I'd like to meet with you. I'd like to have a call or a Teams meeting. What about Thursday? Oh, Thursday's not good. What about Friday? Oh, I can't do Friday. Monday? Yeah, Monday's good. What time? 10 emails go back and forth. Nobody wants to go down that rabbit hole. So use Calendly, which many of our colleagues at KTN use, or Booking, which I've been testing. I have to say I do like Calendly better. It is for fee. Booking is included with your Microsoft Exchange price. It is a little wonky, okay, but I do use it and I'm testing it this year. All of our other people are on Calendly. Calendly has a permanently free version. So if you're not using it, go to calendly.com, sign up. Now here's a insider's tip, okay? At the end of 2 weeks, it will say your trial subscription has expired. Please subscribe now. Just ignore it. It is a permanently free account. Okay. So you can actually use Calendly to set up, and you can actually you can have it integrate with your Outlook calendar to let it know when you're available. So if you block out meetings and appointments, you can also set parameters in Calendly of timeframes and days of week to be available. So for example, if you don't want to walk in the day and have a meeting at 10 o'clock, at 8:30, you can block out your first hour for prospecting and have your Calendly appointment start at 9:30 or 10. So, and you can also have your last meeting start. There's so many ways to configure this. If you need help, reach out to me. Yes, I will help you personally. I will do a Teams call with you. I'll send you my booking link. Jump onto my calendar. If you're leading a team, take advantage of it. I will meet with you and walk you through the best habits that we use. And then the Calendly and booking can be integrated with your, whether you use Teams or Zoom or Google Meets, any of those, it will integrate with when somebody books a meeting with you. It will send them the link and you can tailor the message. My link always says, feel free to meet me on Teams where I will be on webcam, or let me know the phone number and I'll call you. Most people will meet on Teams, even for social business these days, and turn that webcam on. We talk a lot in previous webcasts about video email. I'm a huge advocate for these. Vidyard also has a permanently free account where you can have up to 15 videos stored. When you want to add the next one, you have to delete one. So if you're selling weddings, somebody comes for a site tour, send them a video message. Hi, Chris, it was wonderful seeing you. We'd love to host your wedding. Let us know what we can do. If you want to follow up when people ghost you, send a short video message from your cell phone or your laptop or your desktop. Okay. I love these. It's a great way to break through the digital wall and put people back into the process. Let's finish up with cadence. I promised to talk about. I think generally 4 touches, sometimes more, especially if they're responding. But the original follow-up, if it is an inbound lead that you're following up on, or your original prospecting reach out. Okay. So typically, I think it's best to reach out prospecting digitally first through an email or a direct message. Next, approximately 3 days later, you want to follow up again, and then a few days to 1 week later, follow up, and then the final reach out. Okay, now if it's an inbound lead, I would actually mention reaching out one more time in the subject line. And I actually just did that recently with a major hotel brand. Said I wanted to reach out one more time to see if we could set that meeting we could talk about for me to present at your brand conference, and let me know if you're still interested. And she said, oh, I'm sorry, I've been out of touch, and we now have a meeting set up for August for that. So sometimes that's going to say like, hey, do you want to talk or not? Okay. Now, vary the medium. This is how we make it feel persistent, but not pushy. Not email, 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 not phone call, phone call, phone call, phone call. All right. So call, email, text. Now, text I would use with discretion. I would not prospect to someone's personal cell phone. But if you've talked to them, especially if you've had a Teams or Zooms meeting, they've given you the phone number, you may follow up maybe once by text. And you could actually ask people, how can I follow up with you? Is texting okay? So, some people love texting. I personally don't like to communicate on text because I type much better with 8 fingers, but I do use it sometimes. Video email or camera phone pics. I did training for a hotel in Puerto Rico. They actually broke for lunch, and I suggested, it was winter, I suggested sending camera phone pics. And someone actually did that. They sent a camera phone pic of the beach at that time, I think it was February, to somebody in Chicago, and say, hey, wish you were here now. They got a wonderful message back on that. So, it's a way to be personal. And then old school handwritten notes, if you have their physical address and you know where they actually are, which is a big if these days because a lot of people don't work in the corporate office buildings. But if you have that address, personal handwritten note is a wonderful thing to do. And so stamps are going up, okay? But after site and tours or after visits, or you meet, have outbound sales calls where they actually take time, sit down and talk to you, thank you notes at the end of large events and conferences, these mean a lot because we don't get them anymore, okay? And so generic messaging, I'm just following up to see if you're ready to book this. I'm checking back to see if you decided anything yet. Please pick me. No, we're just following up to see what else we can do on our end. We'd be grateful for the opportunity to host your meeting or event. And this is how we sound grateful. This is how we sound humble. I'm leaving this up for a screenshot. Get help from your colleagues if you need. So a lot of this may be unrealistic with all the follow-up, with the flood of leads you may be having. This is where we cross-train outside of the silo, okay? Depending on the size of your hotel. Let's take a 250-room Hampton Inn or a Hilton Garden. Maybe there's a night auditor that is interested in learning and cross-training. They can do outbound follow-up emails, okay? And you can actually set the time to schedule them not to be sent in the middle of the night. That might seem weird for some prospects. Schedule them to go out at 9 a.m. If you have a larger company and you have a sales admins, when they come to my training classes, they love it when I talk about how we may be underutilizing them. They're hungry, they want to learn. Okay. Well, speaking of humble and grateful, I'm grateful that you joined us. I'm grateful that so many of you come back again and again. We see you every day, every month when we look at this. Please spread the word on our other topics. Next month, we talk about technification is causing commoditization. And so stand out through humanification. This is a hospitality training topic. It's a little bit more thought leadership actually than a lot of our staff trainings. And then in September, all of our reservation people, hopefully you're still with me. We're going to look at hotel upselling 2026, training tips for front desk and for reservation sales teams. Follow us on Spotify, YouTube, follow Kate's amazing video training tips, which is at our YouTube channel. If you check this one out, go to Kennedy Training Network YouTube channel, just Google search that or link from our site. Kate did a really wonderful 3 or 4 minute time machine training tip, which is wonderful for all hospitality workers in your hotel. If you're interested in on-site training, conference speaking, mystery shopping, call scoring, would love to talk with you. And we're grateful again that you have joined us. We hope to see you again during next month and future KTN webcasts. We also want to give a shout out to Travel Outlook and Track Hospitality Software for making this possible. Thank you again.